Welcome to Eerie Bites of History, your daily serving of strange bites of the past. Today, we have a castaway's strange survival, a desperate fight against nature, and a fallen king, all of which happened on September 30th. Let's begin. On September 30th, 1659, a young Scottish sailor named Alexander Selkirk made a fateful decision that would change his life forever. After a bitter argument with his captain, Selkirk chose to be left behind on a remote inhabited island off the coast of Chile, believing he would be rescued quickly by another passing ship, but no rescue came. For 4 long years, he was completely alone, surviving on wild goats, fish, and whatever plants the harsh landscape offered. At first, the silence nearly drove him mad. He would talk to himself just to hear a human voice. His clothes rotted away, leaving him to fashion crude garments from goat skins. He hunted with his bare hands, and his only companions were feral cats that roamed the island. Yet against all odds, he adapted. He became lean, strong, and resourceful, a man transformed by isolation. When a British ship finally spotted him, the sailors were in shock. He looked more like a wild man than a castaway. But his incredible story would echo through history. Years later, it inspired Daniel Defoe to write Robinson Crusoe, a novel that turned his lonely ordeal into one of the most famous survival tales ever told. Imagine arguing with your boss so badly that your best option was to live with nothing but feral cats and your own thoughts for company. Most of us can't even handle a week without Wi-Fi, but he not only survived, he turned into a wild man prototype for one of the world's most famous adventure novels. On September 30th, 1965, the Philippines was shaken by one of the most violent volcanic eruptions. Taal Volcano was deceptively small, but deadly, and exploded with terrifying force, sending columns of ash high in the sky. Villages were buried, whole communities were engulfed in choking clouds of smoke and fire. In the chaos, one small fishing family managed to survive in a way almost too incredible to believe. As ash rained down around them, they overturned their wooden canoe and crawled beneath it, burying themselves in layers of volcanic dust. For days they remained trapped in a dark cocoon of ash, the air thick and nearly unbreathable. They rationed what little water they had, listening to the mountain's rumbles like a heartbeat of a furious god above them. Rescuers searching the devastated shoreline expected only to recover bodies. Instead, they uncovered the canoe and inside the family, weak but alive. Against all odds, they had endured one of nature's most destructive forces, shielded only by a humble fishing boat. Their miraculous survival became a story whispered across the Philippines as a reminder of both the fury of Taal and the fragile resistance of human life. Now that's definitely thinking outside the box. That little wooden boat became their fortress against ash, fire, and almost certain death, surviving what many would think was impossible. On September 30th, 1399, England's King Richard II was forced to give up his crown. Once a boy king crowned at just the age of 10 years old, Richard had grown into a monarch whose reign was marked by both grandeur and deep mistrust. His lavish lifestyle, heavy taxation, and harsh treatment of rivals earned him enemies among the nobility. The most dangerous of them was his cousin, Henry Bolingbroke. When Richard left for a campaign in Ireland, Henry seized the chance to return from exile, gather support, and march through England almost unopposed. By the time Richard hurried back, his fate was sealed. He was captured and brought before Parliament, where he was pressured to abdicate. On that day, Henry was crowned Henry IV, and Richard's reign was over. But the story did not end there. Imprisoned in Pontefract Castle, Richard wasted away in isolation. Months later, he was found dead under mysterious circumstances. Some say he was starved to death, others claimed he was quietly murdered to prevent rebellion. Even a few whispered that Richard had escaped, lived in hiding, a shadow king waiting to reclaim his throne. To this day, the truth remains uncertain, as an unsolved mystery lingering in the dark corners of England's medieval past. One moment he was the anointed ruler of England, the next he was a prisoner in his own kingdom. His mysterious death in captivity only deepens the shadow around his legacy. Was it murder? Was it starvation? Or did he simply wither away under the weight of betrayal? We may never know the truth, but his story continues to echo on. Like your history snack-sized? Drop us a comment with your favorite bite and subscribe. Join us daily for your eerie dose of the past.